Hey, what is going on, guys? I've had a few people ask me about my top box that is on my KTM 690 Enduro R. What did I do? How did I put it on there? What kind of box is it? All that type of stuff. Well, I tell you what, I know it's been a little while, and I told probably several people that I was going to let you know how I did it. Well, guess what? Here it is. I'm going to tell you exactly pretty much how I did it. It's very simple. It didn't take no time. I bet it didn't take more than probably 30 minutes max to put a box on the back of my bike. So we'll be right back, and I'm going to show you exactly how I did it, and we'll break it down step by step. And it's super, super easy. And guess what else? It's super, super cheap. Be right back. Okay, we're back. I've got all the stuff that we need to do to put this box on. It's really pretty cut and dry. There's not a whole lot to it. It's relatively simple. First things first, yeah, you're going to need a box. Any type of box is going to work. Any type of military type box. This just so happens, this is an Apache box. I picked this up at Harbor Freight Tools, so it's not anything special or fancy, but it is watertight. It does have the air pressure release valve on it, which is really nice if you're in altitude. It allows you, because this can suck itself down if you go up in elevation. Pick up a box. This is for my roto packs. I'll show you how I put that on. It's really simple. There wasn't a whole lot to it. I like to try to, if I can at most, any time that I'm making something, I try to use Allen head bolts just because I carry Allen wrenches with me on my trip, and it makes it real easy. I don't have to have any open end Bach wrenches or a bunch of stuff to carry with me, but it was really pretty simple. You can't see it, but what I did is I grinded here and I grinded it off here, and I did through bolts, and then through those through bolts I sealed it with silicone so that way if it gets wet, basically the inside of my box doesn't get any moisture or any of that to mess up any of my camera work. So with the box then comes, what are you going to attach it to? Well, what I have, this is a 2017 KTM 690 Enduro R, which you guys all know that. I have the Tusk tailplate, okay? And you can pick them up anywhere. You can get it down in the comment section or the description. And they're relatively cheap, and they're built really well. It's super thick aluminum. It's lightweight. It works really well. And they're very easy to put on. The only thing is if you get a KTM straight out of the box or from the manufacturer or from your dealer, if he doesn't put on the hand plates on the back, you'll have to take off your plastics and drill those out. It's very simple. If you look right here on the underside of this, when you take it off, you have to take your seat off in order to do that. But if you take this off, there are little bitty drill outs on the back side. It's very simple. And when you get the Tusk plate, they even tell you what size drill bits and everything that you need to drill that out to where it's nice and factory and perfect. So it's really pretty simple. Just about anybody can do it, and that's really a whole lot of fun. Bolts all the way through. Make sure it's nice and secure. Always check your bolts before you go on a trip or if you do anything, just to make sure nothing backs out or anything like that. You can use Loctite if you want to. I don't use Loctite on my KTM only because it is a rear plastic subframe with bolt inserts. It does a really good job, but I just want to be careful that I don't get it too much that I actually tear up the subframe in case I got to get that bolt out. So I just snug them down real good, not too much, but that's what I do on that. So that being said, if you look up underneath, there's all my bolts and everything that I've done. So these little small bolts right here, that is part of this. This attached to this part that is actually attached to this subframe. But these larger bolts that you see underneath, I'm going to show you in just a second. We're going to open that up, and I'm going to show you how I attach this tail plate. This tail plate here, tail box right here, I think I paid like $36 or something like that. It was really relatively inexpensive. It does a great job. It's not too big. If you look at the width of it based off of the seat, it's really not much wider than the bike itself. And it's lightweight, and I can put my camera equipment in here. I can put anything I really truly don't want to get wet, and it works real well. And then I can stick a gallon of gas on top of it. It does really a pretty fantastic job. So inside the box, this has fell off only because I had it glued. I ripped it off because I wanted to show you how I did it. I just used some cheap glue. But these are the smaller bolts. like I said, there's no right or wrong way to do this type of stuff. You can go to any hardware store. The thing is, get your measurements from what you're going to attach through the plastic and just make sure it doesn't stick through too much, because these foam inserts, we'll go back over it, and that egg crating right there is going to protect anything. You can Velcro it on the backside, you can glue it, whatever you want to do, and it's really, really going to do a good job on protecting everything. Take the bottom off. You see it right there. These are basically 1/2 inch nylon threaded bolts, so they're not going to come off. And I have rubber washers with a washer. That way there's no way this can pull itself through. If I have an accident or anything like that, or if I dump my bike, it's nice and secure. This doesn't have a ton of area to store stuff, but for camera equipment and any of that type of stuff, it's really perfect for what I need it to do. Stuff that you're going to need. You're going to need a drill. Depending on what size bolt you're going to get, this is a 5/16 drill bit to drill it out and to drill through the aluminum over there onto the tailplate or through the tailplate. What I'm going to end up doing, like I said, let me get back to this. An open end wrench, a ratchet. I'm not going to take it off and put it back together. I mean, it's pretty simple. Just take your time, line it up, drill your holes, get a buddy to help, and get it as square as possible, and biff bam boom. I'm going to put some pictures up so that you can see them on screen, so you can see what I did mine. But I used these 2 holes with these circles to line this up, and then I measured from here to here and found my center point, and then used my gas cap to find my center point, to find my dead center. You can do it whatever way works, so you can do it however you want to. A set of bolts, or go to the hardware store. These rubber washers are awesome. You can find these at Lowe's. I've noticed Lowe's is the easiest spot to find those, but these are great rubber washers. That'll keep all the moisture out. They're really, really, really kind of cool. What I'm going to do, this is the game plan for how I'm going to make this box a easier and a quick release if I need to, in a pinch, to get it off. What I'm going to do, and they sell these at Lowe's, I think you can get them at Home Depot too, right here, oversized thumb screws that'll just basically cinch down. And I'm going to run those through, and they are really cool because this will go through the underside, and I'll put a lock nut on the other underside, and that way I can just cinch it down, cinch it up, kind of like some of your older, even some of the newer Pannier boxes, how they attach them to the side of the racks. That's my thinking on that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a 3-bolt system, so that way when I'm out, if I need to get that box off and I just need a flat, hard tailplate, I can do that. But other than that, there's not a whole lot to it. You know, you just kind of let your mind wander, and it's very simple. So you're just going to need a drill, a hardware store, a box of some sort. You can get Pelican. That happens to be an Apache. They're very inexpensive. Whatever you want, you can make it happen, man. Your imagination is what makes all this fun. So, but putting a box on the back, if you have a 690 or any other bike, you can make it work. If you have an aluminum or a metal tailplate, you're going to need to make sure that when you drill through the bottom side of it, get a piece of like 1x4 or 1x2 or something like that, so you don't drill into the plastics of your bike. Trust me, I almost did it, and I caught myself before I got through it. I said, uh-oh, I better get a piece of wood in case when that drill comes through, I don't hit that plastic. So, but that's it. Not much to it. Pretty cut and dry. It's simple. I mean, that's really all you're going to need. I will try to go in the description and tell you everything that I use as far as like bolts and stuff like that if you want me to, so that you can get a roundabout. But it's really just use your imagination. That's half the fun with adventure bike build outs. So anyway, that is my tail box. That's how I did it. And it didn't take me more than 30 minutes, and it was under $50 total, box included. With that, hey, I hope that helps you out, and you guys have a fantastic day. Enjoy whatever it is you're doing. Get out, find your adventure. Put a box on if you want one. They are great. They keep everything dry. My name's Joe, 690 ADV. You guys have a fantastic day. 690 out.